Hello everyone, hopefully we're all coming through nice and clearly, and welcome to this week's live stream. Every week we do a live stream and it's on a rotation, so this week we are returning to our live game that we're making, and that is a remake of the classic Zombies Ate My Neighbours, which was a top-down Genesis SNES game. It came out like in the 90s. Really cool game. We're trying to remake it in Unreal Engine 4 each time we do this. So this is episode 3. If you want to watch the first 2 parts, you can catch them on the archives and on the channel. Just so you know, the archive for this episode will be available to patrons immediately after the show, and then 2 weeks later will be available to everyone else. So if you want to subscribe to the Patreon, and for just $1, you get access to the archive for this footage, as well as tons of other videos. There's like 2-3 months worth of videos for Patrons already. Okay, so last time, since we've been doing this, we've managed to get some basic AI working around. Managed to make these neighbours so you can pick them up. So we're going to cough. And we also made this cool door effect. So it spawns a door in when we collect all the neighbours. Like that. So we made that last week. So this week what I really want to do is get started on the weapon system and figuring that out. So if you don't know how this works, this is basically me trying to make a game live in front of all of you. I have not practiced this or prepared anything prior to this stream. So you can see me in live real time working things out, figuring things out, making mistakes, hopefully fixing them, yeah. So without further ado, we're going to get started on working on our weapon system. So our weapon system, if you haven't played the game before in Zombies Ate My Neighbours, you have like about a dozen weapons you can pick from. Let me just get rid of my neighbours. We don't need the neighbours in here. We also don't need the zombie. We can get rid of him. And okay, so there's about a dozen weapons, and you start off all the time with a squirt gun, which is a water pistol, and that's your basic weapon. But you also get other weapons such as throwable ones like silverware and Coke cans and soda cans, and they all do different things. And some have benefits against against other enemies. So, for example, silverware, throwing knives and forks and things like that, does more damage against werewolves. And there's many other things like that as well. So the way we're going to approach this is very similar to how I do my other weapon system in the first person shooter, in that we're going to make a parent actor, parent thing, which will then have children, which are the various different weapons. So yeah, let's get cracking on with this. So I'm going to first of all create a new folder here, and we're going to call this weapons. And I think at a base level, what we're going to try and do is get the system started off and eventually put in all the weapons that were in the original game. But then we can start brainstorming some new ones we can add in this remake. So I'm going to create a new blueprint class, and we're going to call it an actor. And this can be the weapon parent actor. So this thing's going to be containing the generic code, generic functions that all the weapons will share, such as like shooting them, checking for ammo, that sort of thing. The way in the original game worked with regards to ammo and picking up these weapons is that you picked them up in the environment. So you walked over them, collect them all up, and that's when you can use them. And when you run out, that's it. You have to wait until you pick up some more. So if I yawn, by the way, keep yawning. It's because I'm quite tired, as usual. But never mind. Okay, so I'm going to go into my weapon parent here. So when I'm thinking about this, you can always come back to this and try and work it out from that side of things. But I want to try and solve as much as I can from the get-go. So I'm thinking ahead about what I need from this weapon system. So I need to be able to shoot the weapon. So I need a function for that. So let's make a function for shoot, or primary. Let's do primary fire. Okay, primary fire. So this thing's going to trigger the function to actually fire something. Okay. I'm also going to need a function for we do check ammo, I guess. And And that'll do for now. This weapon system in the original game is quite simple. So you just picked up the items. It's just no reloading. You just keep shooting until you run out of ammo, and then you've lost it. So yeah, we're gonna try do it as simple as possible. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got chat up on the other screen. I'm looking at it now and then. So if I miss your questions, by the way, just keep trying. I will get to them hopefully. For example, we've got Johnny Caps here. Are you going to be building a custom or printed map for your project? So at the moment we're just doing placeholder stuff. So it'd be white box testing, and then we'll eventually put in our own assets. I don't know. I mean, I could try and make the assets on stream for you guys. I'm not the greatest 3D artist, but I can give it a shot and show you some things to be aware of when 3D modeling for games, if you like. Otherwise, I can spend the time outside of the live stream making the assets. Depends on what you prefer to see. If you want to see me modeling or attempting to model, I'm more than happy to try it. Let us know in chat if that's something that you want to see. We do. I mean, the only one benefit I'd like to show is probably how to model for games, so things to be aware of, especially when preparing assets for game releases. So let us know in the comments if that's something that would be of interest to you. Okay, so our weapon here, we need some variables. So generic variable list here, I'm going to give it an ammo counter. And it's going to be an integer. Compile that. Okay. We're going to have a name for this weapon. So I'm going to call it, give it a text field. And that's going to be a weapon name. Like so. Okay. There'll probably be more variables and more functions as we come along. We'll see how we get on with that as we come by. Josu Magallanes, I can't pronounce that name, sorry. How long do these streams typically last? These will probably be an hour and a half to 2 hours each week, roughly. Depends on what kind of flow I'm in. If I get stuck, then I get annoyed, and I'll probably end it sooner rather than later. But about an hour and a half, 2 hours we do. Yeah. Okay, so right, so we've got weapon parent, and on my player character, there you go. Right, we're going to add a weapon to this mesh. So we're not going to do anything visual today, because we haven't got no meshes to do this with. So, we're going to just make it all code side of things. We'll do meshes at another time. So in here we're going to need a child actor, and that's going to be its weapon, and it's going to be the child actor of type. Well, let's make one first. So weapons, right click on this, create child, and this would be weapon underscore squirt gun. Okay, so it's a child now, or weapon parent. So it inherits all that stuff I've done on the weapon parent, which is really nice and handy. So, I mean, I could do one more. Weapon underscore soda can, and the soda cans are like sort of grenades. So it's sort of a different type of gun. It's a throwable rather than a shootable. Hi Cal47. Nice to see you this evening. Okay, so content, character. Go back to my child actor. I'm going to change this to weapon squirt gun. Okay, so it starts off with a squirt gun. Okay, so we now need to set up some inputs for this thing. So let's go to edit, project settings, and going to make we've already got shoot. Okay, so we've got left mouse button and gamepad right trigger already in there, shoot. So let's add that to our character as a shoot input action. Okie dokie. So this is when we shoot our weapon. We want it to get the weapon that we've got currently selected. So I'm going to drag weapon, and from there I'm going to get child actor. So this weapon, this is the component, it's child actor component, and the child actor is part of that component. So weapon, then the child actor of that component, and then from there I want to cast to weapon parent. And what I'm going to do, because casts are quite expensive to do in terms of compute time, I'm going to put this on a begin play. So I don't currently have any a begin play, so let's put this on begin play. And the reason why I'm doing that is so it only calls it once at the start, and then once I've got this weapon parent cast, I can then promote that to a variable, and now it's stored as your weapon. So I can call this current weapon, like so. So that means my input action shoot here, I can drag this out, get, and that'll be the shoot. Oh, hello. Was it primary fire, wasn't it? Primary fire. There you go. When I shoot it, it calls a function from the current weapon. Excellento. Okay, compare all that and go back to here. So let's go back to our weapon parent. So on primary fire, we need to check the ammo, and if it's got enough ammo to shoot, then make it shoot. So here I'm going to, and important to note as well, in the Zombies Ate My Neighbours, there's no full auto. It's only semi-auto, so you click and it'll shoot. So we're going to do that. So don't have to worry about any sort of firing modes or anything like that. It's, again, very nice and simple. So on check ammo, we're going to have an output that would be a boolean, and that be has ammo. Okay. And ammo here, we're going to go get ammo, and we're going to go is greater than 0. And if it's greater than 0, actually no, don't do that. If it's greater than 0, just plug that boolean straight into the has ammo. Compile that. So in primary fire, the first thing we do is check ammo. So that return true or false. And if it returns true, we're going to go into a branch, and we're going to shoot some ammo. So we're going to decrement our ammo. So do minus to get decrement. So it's true, decrement ammo, like so. Put it like that. I like doing my branches like this. There you go. Hi Joshua, how you doing? Oh, pardon me. Oh, I'm a bit uncomfortable at the moment. That's because I'm crouched over on my laptop on the floor, and it's quite uncomfortable. So hear me aching in pain. That's why. Okay, so we've got primary fire, checking ammo. If it has ammo, it's going to be true. Decrement ammo. Okay, and then we have the actual shooting of the projectile. So the shooting of the projectile will change based on the child actor. So let's make another function for this, and this will be shoot projectile. And again, this function will vary per weapon. So on the weapon parent, we don't do anything on here, but on the primary fire, we're going to call it like so. Let's just straighten that up. There we go. Compile that, and we're going to close this. So on the weapon squirt gun, to add that shoot projectile function, we can go into override here, choose that, and we should see shoot projectile. Okay, and this shoot projectile here will override whatever we've done on the weapon parent. So at the moment there's nothing on that, so it's fine. Thanks for following me, the sit down clown. Let me just sort out my second screen a bit here. It's a bit messy. There we go. Cool. That's no problem, Josh. No problem to help you out. Okay, so we've got a shoot projectile. It's an event here. And the difference between an event and a function is a function has a return value. So on our weapon parent, our function shoot projectile didn't have a return value. Therefore, it will see it as an event. And I'm just going to grab a swig of my drink. Okay. Yeah, let me sort myself out. There we go. Adrian Castjohn, thanks for videos. Your video game student basically learned everything I know in Unreal from it. Oh, thanks, man. It's good. Always good to hear. I'm helping out some other students. Okay, so I want to shoot projectile for weapon squirt gun. This is where we'll do the unique stuff related to the squirt gun. So in this case, it'll be shooting a direct projectile bullet. So to do that, we have to make the projectile. So here, I'll make another folder, subfolder called projectiles. And in here, we're going to create a projectile class. So I'm going to go into actor. And I'm going to call it projectile water. And this thing will have a mesh. And a particle system probably, but we'll go for mesh first. Set mesh, going blind, there we go. And we need a projectile movement on it. Projectile movement. And we're going to click on projectile movement and have a look at our settings here. So initial speed, don't want it at 0 because otherwise it won't move. So let's change that to something a bit more speedy. Let's go 1000. Max speed of 1000. Rotation follows velocity. Yep, tick that. Because this is going to be like a long stream. Like a long dart, basically. Rotation follows velocity basically means it will rotate it so it is going the same direction as it is flying through the air. We don't want it to bounce. We don't want it to home either. And here's the velocity, but we'll sort that out at a later date when we actually shoot it. So I can compile that, and let's just put a basic mesh on it for now, so we can actually see what the hell we're doing. So let's just give it a... Oh, you know what? Let's just make something quickly in Maya. I'm just going to load up Maya here. If that's load up. And we'll make a basic mesh to bring it in. At least then you'll see a simple export process from Maya, at least. So while waiting for that to load up, I'm going to go to the event graph here. And we have to do a hit event. So when the projectile hits something, we want it to destroy itself. So we're going to go to here and just do destroy actor. Cool. So the shoot projectile for the squirt gun is going to create an spawn actor from class, and we're going to choose the water, and its spawn transform is going to spawn it at the same location as this weapon component is currently at. So we're going to go and get actor transform. And that will do. What we could actually do is... No, we'll leave that as for now. Right, so Maya's loaded up. Let's have a look at Maya. Yeah, so Kim, this would work for arrows as well. You can make it so that when it hits something, rather than destroy actor, you just tell its velocity to be 0, 0, 0, and it'll look like it's stuck in the wall then. It's pretty clever, neat little trick you can do. Okay, let's make our water projectile here. So a very simple shape. I'm just going to do, we'll just do a box. I'm just going to increase its size. It's a bit out. Oh, I don't know. Let's do 20. So it's quite small. And I'm going to go mesh smooth. This is if you ever want to make a ball shape, the best way to do a ball shape is with a cube and then mesh smooth it. The reason being is that when you want to UV texture this, it's all quads. With a sphere, I'll go sphere, put it outside of it. You can see they're not all quads because at the top they're turned into trios. It makes texturing difficult. So, well, not difficult, just harder. But this is, they're all the same shape and size, all uniform. So it makes it quite nice. So we're just going to make a little dart shape in this. So I'm going to grab my vertex here. And the X direction is forward. So if I click on our vertex here and just drag that back, let's turn on soft select. Push B on your keyboard if you're using Maya, and you can, holding B, you can customize it with the middle mouse button. You can drag and it'll pull. Actually, there's a bit more soft select on that. Let's go for these ones. Bring that forward a bit. Okay. Now, when you're making models for games, you want to make sure that you're using 0, 0, 0 as your origin point, because when you import it in, then it will remain that'll be its root in the engine. So whenever you made a model, 0 it. It's also a good idea to freeze its transforms as well. So if you look over on the right hand side, you can see I've translated it by 26 units. So if I go to my mesh, modify, and click freeze transforms, you'll see it sets back to normal. So this is default state. And I can sort out the root in here if I like as well, but that's for modeling only. I'm not fussed by that in this case. So with it selected, I'm just going to go File and Export Selection and FBX. You want to save it as FBX, and I'm just going to put it in my FBX folder here, and I'm going to go Projectile Water, and that'll do for a placeholder graphic. Okay, so once you've exported it, you want to now import it. So I'm just going to right click, new folder in my projectiles folder, call it meshes, and I'm going to go import, and I'm going to find that projectile water, and get this menu come up. You shouldn't need to change too much in here. If you're doing a quite complex shape, you want either combine meshes or you don't want to combine meshes. It's only got one mesh, so I don't have to do nothing really here to it. So I'm just going to click import, and there it comes in. Okay, so we've got a basic turd looking projectile, but it'll do for our purposes here. So let's open up our projectile. We will get to one point as well, making it really fancy looking with like water effects kind of it. We'll probably replace the whole mesh with a particle effect. So, but for now, I just want to see something. So this will do. Okay, so there's our mesh. Click compile, and let's see, right. So that'll spawn that. So shoot projectile, spawn actor, okay. And then our player character has the weapon attached to them. And let's just move that up. So it's like in front of them, I guess. And click compile. So let's see what happens. We probably have to do something with its velocity. It's not shooting. Okay, let's have a look and see where the code's going wrong. So shoot, primary fire. Let's just check that that's working by print string. So when I do this, I'll put in a print string for each section. So I go shoot there. Click on primary fire. End of that. Print string. And this one's called projectile. And then click on that one. And that will be on the squirt gun. So weapons, let's go on. Print string, and I call it end. So when I play, when I shoot, I'll see what print string's not appearing. So shoot's appearing, projectile isn't. So where is it breaking? So if I go back to my player character, so this one's working, but we're not getting to the end of it. And the reason why is because my ammo, I didn't change my ammo to be a high number. So do it at 10. There you go. And that would be it. Okay, there's my my projectile. So we need to fix a few things there. So let's have a look, see what we've got going. Okay, so let me look up my thing now. Oh, I missed a few questions. Hang on, let me go through these questions. So, do variables save automatically in the Steam Advanced session? Yes, it save game. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're talking about a server side stuff, then yes. If it's client side, then no. You have to make sure you save that with the save game object. Glad I can help you out, Johnny Caps. Sad to hear that you lost your programmer, but I'm glad to see that I'm helping. Josh, how hard do you think it would be to make a working car that you can drive and make the tyres turn as well? There is already a template one you can look at on Epic's Unreal templates. You can have a look there. They've got a car working there. You can just reverse engineer it from that. Weapon is of type actor component. Actually, no, weapon is just a type of actor. And what we're using on the player character is a child actor component. And so we can add actors to it. The reason why we want to do that is because we want our actor to be easily changed and swapped out when we switch weapons. When is the giveaway finished? The giveaway for FIFA 20 ends on October 16th. Well, it'll end October 15th, but I will announce the winner on October 16th, which is also my birthday. So I'll announce the winner of FIFA 20. So yeah, I got given a code for FIFA 20. I don't play FIFA games, so I was happy to give it away. I thought it'd be a decent thing to give away. That's why you got it. So if you haven't entered the giveaway, enter it now. It's over my website, ryanlady.com, and you look in the blog there. Okay, so let's have a look again at what's going on with our projectile. So it's shooting it, and it looks like it's shooting it the wrong way. So let's have a look at the way we've got our weapon here. So our weapon, remember, X is forwards. So X is going sideways here. So I need to rotate this 90 degrees so that X is going this way. Click compile. It's important once you do one little change, test it and see what's working and what's not working. So we've got something happening there. And you see that little jutter? That jutter means that there's a collision mesh on our projectile that is overlapping our character and pushing our character aside. So what I want to do is make sure that our character is not affected by that collision. So for now, if we go into our weapons, projectiles, projectile water, and we click on our mesh, scroll down to collision, and change it from block all dynamic to custom. And I want it to only block, let's say, actually, what can we do? No, let's go into the custom again and change that to overlap only pawn. Let's try that. Okay. So this one should overlap me and not affect me. Yep, cool. So you can see it's got a dip on it. That dip it's not how we want it really. So let's go into our projectile movement, and you should see one that's about gravity, and you'll see projectile gravity scale. Change it to 0 and click compile, and now that's it. It'll keep going until it hits something. So if I shoot through this block, it should hit the wall and stop and destroy itself. So that's not working. So let's have a look. It's probably do the collision. I need to customize the collision better. We need to. Oh, I need to trigger hit events. This top one here. Click compile. Play. No. Oh, you son of a. Okay, let's have a look. Overlap events. To pop on. No. Custom. Right. If we just say. I want it to block the camera channel. That might be it. No. Why won't that work? Am I missing something here? Nope. Nope, nothing. A collision? Nope. So it's definitely here. If I just change this to block all, does that still trigger the hit event? It should do. It's not, so what's going wrong there? The hit event's not being triggered. When an actor bumps into a blocking object or blocks another player. Yep. That's fine. Okay, let's just change that to an overlap then. For now, I'll come back to another time. Let's change that then. We have to tell it to be custom because we don't want it to. First of all, change it to overlap all, then custom, and we can then change our pawn to be ignored. Well, that's not right because it's not. It's going to ignore the enemy, the player. So I need it to first of all check if we are overlapping the player. So here we get player character, and I think this will work. If not, we have to use a cast. If it is equal to, then not equal to destroy actor. So let's have a look at this now. Oh, that's just stupid. Why is that? Print string. Well, let's get rid of the other print strings while we're here because we don't need them all. We have to solve that problem. There we go. Right, so why won't they hit that? Got collision on it because I can't walk through it. So what the hell? Yeah. Is it because they're not actors? Yeah. It's just no, it's still static mesh actor. It should still work. Oh my god, my legs! Hang on. Oh. let's back to this. Let's have a look at this. Nothing in here, no. Okay, let's overlap everything, so this should trigger everything. So, but why the bloody hell it won't? What's going on? Don't really know. No, I don't know why it's not overlapping the blocks. It should overlap the blocks and report those. Maybe it's something to do with the projectile. Maybe is there something I forgot to tick off or. If not, I'm gonna have to hook up the Google. Let's have a look at Google. Let's have a look what UE4 forums tell us. What if I'm doing wrong? Oh, I know why it's not working. Oh, I remember this problem before. So the mesh needs to be the root. Because when you shoot it, the root's not. Nope, you son of a bitch. Okay. I got that wrong. You have to swear it was at the root. Top is make the version the default. Yeah. Make that the root. Because the way physics work, when you shoot it as physics, as an object, the root doesn't move anywhere. It's just the mesh, the things and the collisions that go with it. So you have to tell the root to be the thing you're looking out for. Right, let's go other actor there and see if that is at least triggering the wall as well. No. Right, back to Google. Yeah, I might have to add a custom sphere collision to it. Okay, let's make a simple sphere collision to it. We'll leave it that size. That's decent size. Let's see if I can get away without doing any extra code. So it's now. I don't know what the hell that means it's doing. Let's just disconnect this. Try and make sense of what the hell's going on there. Let's do a component overlap. Add event. Add on component begin overlap. And plug that in there instead. Still not seeing these things. These things definitely have collision on them. Yes. Block all. Let's do overlap all. It's probably because they're static, that's why. Yeah. No. Oh my god. What is going on? Overlap events being triggered. This is the root, that's the root. I've got chat closed, hang on, bear with. Try the sphere as the root, maybe. Try that. Nah. No, not having it. Let's actually see if it's visible so I can see what the hell that sphere collision is doing. Yeah, let's go along with it. So it should collide with this. I'm not being stupid. Let's add another cube to this. Yeah, it's just... And that's definitely got a collision on it because I walk on it. Try simulate physics on. Nope. Oh, yep. Yeah, we know. Static meshes are still static actors, so it should still pump them out. Everything you see inside the world is an actor, so it should always pump out an actor. An overlap actor is just an actor object reference, so it should always work. But for crying out loud, what is going on here? Let's take out the block all and make the sphere collide with everything. Gonna be one of those goddamn nights. Back to Google. Let's have a look. I wonder if I go to this cube, for example, it's got block all down. Yeah, it's got all that. The hell is going on? Bear with me, I'm just reading up some stuff. No, he's hitting everything. Oh, God's sake. Sorry, guys. So a base class I can nick from. Let's have a look. Project. No. I know what I'm going to do. Hang on. Let's close mail so I don't get a slowed computer. Let's save that. And I'm going to open up the first person template and have a look at their projectile and make sure I've got that all matching exactly the same as I've got. Because it should be working. For God knows why it's not. Have I got a first person? There we go. So yeah, obviously I forget things sometimes. I always forget about projectiles. No, the overlap does not print out anything when it hits the meshes. It is being weird. It should print out everything it hits because I tried to overlap everything. So God knows why it's not working. So I'm just loading up another Epic Games project. Let's have a look at that. Anyone got any questions about anything else while waiting here? Waiting for this to load up? That means ask. Yeah. Well, we haven't got a physics enabled. It's already off. Nothing. So we got. Let's have a look at their projectile. What have I messed up? So they got the collision component with the sphere. Collision component's the root. It's got a custom collision to block everything but a pawn. Projectile movement should be about the same apart from bouncing. I don't want it to bounce. Yep. Yeah. So that looks like it's mostly the same. Right, let's redo this. Let's redo this whole thing. Let's undo and delete this. Yep. And try this again from scratch because that looks the same bloody thing. New blueprint class. Actor. Oh, let's just check that is an actor type that they've used here as well. Yes, it is. So I've got that right so far. Going in here. Let's add a sphere collision. Make that the root. Add the mesh. Let's do the mesh. water. There we go. Add component, projectile, movement. And this will be, I think I've done 1000, didn't I? 1000. Gravity 0. And compile. The sphere collision is going to be custom. It's going to block everything except for pawn. So far I've got it exactly set up, exactly the same as their one. So let's just close that. Rename this projectile. Let's go water. Go back to my squirt gun. Water projectile. Okay, let's try this. Oh, I actually got some code on it. Let's just do on here. Print string. I've got to tell it to yeah, okay. Pretty much there, okay. So it's detecting it at least now. I don't know what the hell difference is. I'm guessing just deleting it, making sure that that was the root from the start. I'm real being weird. Okay, let's go back to this and let's make it so when we begin or when we hit, sorry, we can do a hit, can't we? Event hit. Destroy actor. Let's destroy itself. Hopefully it doesn't destroy it when it collides with me. No. Cool. Okay, so the only thing that's pushing me aside, I think, is the actual mesh. So I go to the mesh, tell it to have no collision. And there you go. God knows what that was. There's no damn difference apart from, I don't know, God knows what. I think just having it incorrect from the get-go, I think Unreal got confused in its compiling. So starting from scratch, making that the root from the get-go seemed to fix it. Just weird shit. Weird shit happens in Unreal sometimes. But there we go, we've got that working. So on the event hit, we got it destroying itself. Which then with water gun it would make a splash. We can make it a bush. Cool. And it'll shoot 10 times because that's how much ammo we have. Okay, so we've got projectile working, we've got squirt gun working. And we're going to close that. So if I now want to do the pickup of items, I have to do another weapon actually. So we've got the weapon soda can. So the soda can is going to do the same sort of thing as the squirt gun. Where we've done the shoot projectile and create a projectile, we'll do exactly the same thing. This thing's going to have like an arc to it. It's going to be like a grenade. So projectiles, we can just duplicate that, I guess. Projectile soda can. And let's change its mesh to be let's do a little cylinder and let's make that a bit smaller. Make an actual mesh for it at some point. I do. Keep it a sphere because it doesn't really matter too much. It's just a small thing. Right, destroy actor. Yep, but its projectile movement's going to be different. So it's projectile movement. We have the same sort of speed if you want, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a gravity scale of 1 on it, and its velocity we are going to make it go up a little bit. So Z here, we're going to go up by. Let's see what numbers we pump in here. It says we go 3, and let's just change the weapon that's attached to my character. Weapon, and change that to weapon soda can. And make it So do the shoot projectile. Event shoot projectile. And from there, we're doing exactly the same as this, so I can just copy this over. But we're changing the class we're spawning with a soda can projectile. Okie dokie. So now it goes up. Well, I've turned it down a bit, but you get an sort of arc to it as well. So let's just turn that arc down. So the arc's achieved by the Z value here. This is a multiplier, this velocity. So where the velocity is in it, it will multiply that by this value. So 3 is obviously way too high. So let's change that to like 1. And compile that. And see what that does. So not too bad. Just want to make it go a lot slower, a lot closer to the player. Going a bit too far. So the projectile, I want to change its initial speed then to be something like 200. 200. And let's see what that looks like. A bit more than that. So go back in here. Let's try 500. That's a bit better. So what happens is when they land on the floor, it can like all the suds splash, and that's what damages the enemies. Yeah, I'll take a sip. Okay, if you're just joining us, hello and welcome to our live stream where we're remaking Zombies Ate My Neighbours. In this episode, we're going through the weapon system, how it works, and what we're going to be doing with it. So far, we've made a weapon parent. I'll go in here. Weapon parent and 2 child weapons, which would be a squirt gun, which is your default starting gun, and a soda can. And the player character has a weapon as the child actor, which allows us then to switch weapons much easier. Okie dokie. So let's do the actual weapon switching. So the weapon switching is going to be a bit weird and different because we've got to think about controller inputs as well as keyboard inputs. So for now, I'm just going to do keyboard inputs because I think controller input would be a bit difficult, because what I would like to do with the controller input is show you how to do the sort of analog wheel. So you can hold a button and you can move the stick to get an analog wheel. We'll do that another week. So what we'll just do for now is we'll make hotkeys for our various weapons we have. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're using a number of keys to select which weapon we're using. So we'll go to our top-down character, and we're going to go to edit, project settings. Oh, mine's in a different window. Yeah, go to the input, and we're going to create an action mapping for switch weapon. Now, what I'm doing is that the weapon will always be fixed on a number pad. So weapon 1, weapon 2, weapon 3, weapon 4 can be fixed all the time. So we're going to go in here and do on the keyboard 1, 2, and we'll do 3 and 4. We'll leave it as that for now, okay? And when we go back to our game, to our character, and what we're doing here is switch weapon event, and you get the key that comes out of here, okay? So this key, we want to get key display name. I'm not too sure what it will display as, whether it just displays the number or not. So let's have a go at print string that. compile that. Let's have a push. Oh, so it's displaying, yeah, just the number, which is handy. Okie dokie. So get key display name. I wonder what outputs if I do print string on that. Let's have a look. I can't. Okay. So with the display name for the key, we can use this to switch from. So I'm going to go switch. Nope. We'll convert that to real numbers. Nope. What do they call it in this? Ints. Nope. I don't know what they call it in Unreal. String to int. No. And back to Google. I don't know what they call it in Unreal. Is numeric. It doesn't really help. I know it's going to be numeric. That's not what they call it. Must be a way of doing it in Unreal. Maybe because it has to be string first. That's maybe where I'm going wrong. There we go. It has to be an int first. It has to be a string first. That's where I was going wrong. Okay. Oh yeah, I see. Alex, yeah. Well done, Alex, for catching that. I didn't even see your comment until now. Okay, so now I've got the int. We can now switch that. Switch on int. And we can add the pins. So 0 has nothing on it. So 1 will be our squirt gun. So weapon, we're going to set child actor class. 1 here to weapon squirt gun. And do this again. For 2, this one will be the soda can. So, and that'll do for now. So, to test this out, if I push play, so I've got soda can equipped. 1, it does nothing. Okay. Oh, there you go. What have I messed up? Reference to soda can control that is pending a kill. Right. Oh, it's probably because I'm switching. I shouldn't be doing that. Okay. Do that. Switch. Shoot. Okay. So it happens when I hit that primary fire. Access to destroyed weapon. Try not to have a current weapon. Ah, I know why. It's because when we done begin play, where is it? There it is. Current weapon here is getting a reference to the previous weapon. We need to change that to be a different weapon. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a function here, like get current weapon. There we go. And so I'm just going to copy all that, or cut all that rather, and put that here, like so. And we'll make this output. Ooh. Outputs this. So this is this will be current weapon. Actually, we don't need to do that. We can leave it as that. We can get rid of return. That's it. Cool. Now we're going to begin play. Get current weapon comes out. That in, and after each one of these, we're doing a get current weapon. So it changes that reference to be correct. One. There we go. Hit 2. 1, 2, 1. Nice. Okay. Cool. So we've got that working. Next, I want to make sure my ammo is persistent across all of them and be able to replace that ammo. So for that, I need to make some dummy UI stuff so I can test this stuff out. So if I can do folder, UI. So the way UI works is you want to add a HUD interface. So widget blueprint, HUD, and this could be the thing that contains everything else. So it's like the parent HUD, the parent UI. And this thing's just going to be a canvas panel, and that is it. Alongside that, you want to make another one, and that would be your ammo counter, for example. Ammo, well, the weapon details. Weapon details. So it will show them what weapon you've got currently equipped and the ammo that it has. So for this, because it belongs, it will go inside another canvas panel. We don't need this to have another canvas panel. Because we don't need absolute positioning. We just want some fixed positioning for this thing. So I'm just going to do a simple horizontal box, nothing fancy. Again, we will get around to adding all the artwork to this and making it nicer looking. But for now, horizontal box will do. And inside that we'll have, oh sorry, I want to wrap that first of all, a size box. Because I want a, we'll say a width, we'll do minimum desired width, is that? Yeah, width of, say, I don't know, 600. And change that to desired so we can see what we're dealing with here. Drag a text into it. And I'm going to do placeholder text to make sure I get this the right size. So if I put in like the longest name I could think of for weapon, or in some cases just do right across the long, see how that comes up, and then do another line. That's probably as long as the text will be ever. Just a way of making sure I've got enough space. You could do a horizontal. You could do a horizontal box that's in size box that has got a flexible width to it, but that's all I want to worry about for now. So this text block here, I'm going to we'll make this first one here fill, and this one will then be pushed to the end, and I'll make that justified to the right over here. Yeah, Kim, I can explain it. So the horizontal box basically is a panel which stores its content. So panels are things that hold other palette things from your palette here. So a horizontal box is a type of panel which stores things horizontally, so it will stack them horizontally. Conversely, a vertical box will stack them on top of each other, so in a vertical situation. But a size box allows you to define and fixed or a minimum or maximum fixed width and height to your box. So I use a size box here because I want it to be at least a certain size all the time on my screen. So I want to control that a little bit. So give you some flexibility there. So this thing here on the left here is going to be the weapon name, and this one here is going to be the ammo that it has. So I'm going to name these ones. So go into our text blocks up top here, and name this one ammo counter. And this one here, I'm going to change this one to weapon name, like so. Thanks Hypebot for this, the follow. And Jetpacking1, thank you for subscribing. Hang on, I'll be right back. I can hear my son crying. I'll be right back. Just gonna sort him out. Sorry, I'm back. The wife is dealing with him. Okay, so where was we? Oh yeah, doing that UI stuff. So yeah, this will be the weapon name. This will be the text block here. And on my graph here, I want to what do I want to do? I want to create a new variable. So here, a new variable here will be a weapon name variable. And this one will be ammo counter. And the ammo counter is going to be a int. And this one is going to be a text. And we are going then to bind the text block here, ammo counter. Actually, we won't bind it to that. We'll make the ammo counter some text as well. Cool. And we just go in here and bind it to that text. So this will be ammo counter. And this one will be, oh, hello. Oh, balls, I closed it by accident. That's me double clicking by accident there. Click on there. Change that to move binding. Use weapon name. Okay. Compile that. Oh yes, because I don't want this. Delete. Compile. Oh, it's probably because I've named him. If I check, it's because I've got these named the same thing. So weapon. Call that ammo. There we go. Okay, so go into my HUD. I'm now going to look for my user created section, look for my weapon details, and I'm going to drag this to the top right. I'm going to change my anchor to be in the top right as well. Oh, hello. That way it will scale with the screen as the screen size changes based on who's playing it. And click compile. On the graph of this, on the HUD, I'm going to create a function which will update this text, these text fields here. So weapon details, you can see it's a variable already, like so. So when I create a function that is called update weapon details, like so. The update weapon details will need an input. Called weapon name. That'll be some text. And make another input for ammo. And that'll be int. Okay, and what we're going to do here is grab our weapon details reference here, which is get, and then we can set weapon name quite simply to this one. And again, from weapon details, we can set ammo counter to be this one here, and it will convert it to some text. Now the reason why we make it a function rather than binding it all the time is because you could make a binding which updates it all the time, but the problem is it is updating it all the time, so it's like a tick basically, and you're not going to always need to change the name or the value shown. You need to change it when you're shooting or change your weapons. So when we change weapons and when we shoot, we're going to tell it to call this function on our HUD. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So this function will require 2 inputs. So when we call it, we want these inputs to be visible to us on the when we call the function. Okie dokie. So next thing we're going to do is add that to viewport. Now I do my UI stuff in the game mode. So I'm going to find my game mode and go to event graph. So on begin play, we've got this going on already from the previous episodes. We're going to create widget, choose a HUD, promote that to a variable, HUD, and add to viewport, and hook up the rest. Compile that. Oh, my leg's going numb. Oh, shit. Okay. Okie dokie. So I realize I'm saying okie dokie quite a lot. Right, so we have add to viewport. So that's adding the text to the screen. So now when I play it, it should be annoying and not work. Begin play. Add to viewport. Yep. Oh, it's because the values are blank on the default. So we need to tell it what these values are by default. So I'm just going to, testing purposes, just going to go in here, default value, ph, weapon name, and ph, ammo. Compile, and we now should see it. There we are. Okay, so now to hook those values up and call that function on the HUD. So we're now the HUD's on the game mode. The reason why it's a good place to put it is because on your character then, in the begin play for your character, we can get the game mode, cast to the top down game mode, which is where it's at on this mode, and then promote that to a variable, and we call it my HUD. So when we switch weapon after all this, we can tell it to update my HUD. Now what I'm going to do is, rather than attach it to the end of each one of these, I'm going to do a sequence. So I'm going to do a sequence. So I do the switch first, and then what I can do is actually get the current weapon. I can actually call that only once if I wanted to. Ooh, on this sequence. So then one, we'll call that current weapon. Add another pin, and this one's going to update the HUD. So get my HUD out, and then from there we should be able to call the function. Oh, we called it now refresh, was it? No, what do we call it? Update. Right, call it update. So where's my first person character? There we go. A top down character rather. Update. Ew, why is it not working? Top down character mode. Yeah. Oh, of course. Hang on. Oh, getting confused over here. We don't want that. We want not get the game mode. We want to get the HUD from it. My bad, my fault. Get the HUD and then promote that to a variable. Right, so now we have a reference to the HUD. So up here, drag my HUD out, update, weapon details. And you'll see it asks for weapon name and the ammo counter from that weapon name. So from that, I can get my current weapon, and we can get weapon name and get ammo. Hello. Click compile, and now every time I switch weapons, it should update. That's probably because I haven't added the weapon names to each one. Go to class defaults, weapon name, squirt gun. And then we want weapon soda can, class defaults. Soda pack. I don't know. I can't remember what they call it. Oh, don't tell me we crashed. I think it crashed. Let's just quickly save all. Right. So now, if I switch weapon, I'll do that. Soda pack. Cool. So now we've got it updating it when we switch weapon. We need to update it now when we shoot the projectile. So let's go back to our character. Find where we're shooting, which is over here. And we're going to do exactly the same thing over here. We just copy that and paste this. Like so. Compile. Right. Okay, so you see the value doesn't remember what you're saving it as. That's because when you're switching to a new actor, it's actually creating a whole new one. I'll take a swig of my drink. So what you need to do is store the values of your ammo of your guns in a separate variable somewhere. So then when you switch back to it, it remembers how much you had. Let's just tidy this up a little bit. Just plug that into there, I guess. Nice and neat. Cool. So we need to store the ammo that we are firing out of these guns, out of these actor classes. So compile. We're going to go to variables here, create a new variable, and we can go ammo inventory. And ammo inventory is going to consist of a weapon parent. I think this will work. We can check this out. Change that to a weapon parent class. Yeah, cool. So if you create a weapon variable type of weapon parent, and make it a class reference, and have an integer, and make it a map. So when I click on this icon, you can make it a map. And this is a good way of doing inventory systems. So you can create an inventory here. So I can go to squirt gun, another one called soda can, and I can set up their values here as their default values if I wanted to. But what that means is if I set my child actor class here, that means I can then drag my ammo inventory out here, get. In fact, let's get rid of this and put this into a function. Keep it tidy. Save ammo inventory. There we go. Let's set ammo inventory, and we'll make a get ammo inventory. So on the set ammo inventory, we're going to drag in our ammo inventory out, get it, and we're going to add a class to it. So to set ammo inventory, we need to get the current weapon, get class, and plug that into there like so. And then from that current weapon reference here, get ammo. Ooh, and plug that into there like so. What that means is on this map, it'll add the class that we've currently got and the ammo that we currently got to this map. What the add does, essentially, if it doesn't already exist in inventory, it'll add it to it. If it does exist, it will overwrite it. So that's what that does. So to see that in action, what happens is, if we're going to set ammo inventory, when we switch, before we switch, we want it to get the current weapon and add it to the inventory. So above here, before we get onto switch, I'm going to set ammo inventory on then 0. Ooh, like so. So that this will now store whatever ammo we've got currently equipped to our current gun. Then it will switch over to a different gun. Then it will change what the current value is for the gun, and then update the weapon details on the HUD. So that will set those values. Then we need to get those values. So after we set the child actor class to whatever we want to get, we want to drag the ammo, get ammo inventory out to get it. So get ammo inventory here, and this we can put at the end here, like so. So after we update the current weapon, we're going to get the ammo inventory of that current weapon. So get ammo inventory function, drag your current weapon out, get, drag your ammo inventory out, get, and we're going to find, and what we're going to find is the class of the current weapon. So get class. So what it's going to do is search that data map to find the associated inventory number, which would be the ammo counter here, to match the class that we've got here. Hopefully this makes sense. I'm going through this quite fast, I know, but hopefully you get the gist of what maps do and how they work. But one of the best ways of doing inventories. So here I've got a value, and so the return value of get is going to come out of here. And we're ammo, and that's going to be an int, and that's going to go into there. Wow. So top down character, well, I'm on top down. I'm gonna lose my mind. I am top down character. So after we get the current weapon, we get the ammo inventory of that weapon, and we need to set that inventory to that weapon. So actually do that in the same function. We don't need to return the value, because what we can do is get the current weapon out and set ammo. There we are. Saves a step. So finding the ammo in our inventory and then setting it up to have I not got it? Yeah, let's just delete that. There we are. Compile. So let's test that out. So we've got go down to 8 on that. Switch. Oh, it would help if I actually set the default value. Hang on. Ammo inventory, default value here. Do 10 and 10. There we are. Come on. Play. So down to 8. Gun will go down to 5 and go back. Hopefully, yeah, it remembers 8. Nice. And back to 5. Perfect. Works. Not like a works like a dream. Let's go through chat and see what people have been saying. Any abuse? No? Oh, good. Okay. My inventory system has problems in Unreal 4.2.3 when packaging. Laser cat, that is. I'll have to have a look at that. I'm not too sure why that would be the case. Can't think of a reason why it wouldn't. But I can have another look. I will be doing more inventory systems, by the way, because there's loads of ways of doing it, like the one you just saw. We'll be doing more inventory down the line. Kim, Ryan, please remind me, your current setup is you have a weapon component on your character, and within the weapon component you have a weapon class type, which a squirt gun and grenade are derived from, right? Yep, that's correct. So let's recap for people who have just joined or missed out what we have done to set up our weapons. So the way weapons work is there's a weapon parent, and I have child's of that, which are my squirt gun and my soda can, which are a grenade. The weapon parent, let's stop the game, has a couple of functions. It has a primary fire, so this will first of all check ammo, which I've got here as another function, which simply just checks if we've got enough ammo. And then it'll take ammo away. Oh, pardon me. And then shoot a projectile. And shoot projectile has nothing on it. Now the reason why it's nothing on it is so that when we go to our children, such as squirt gun, we can customize what the shoot projectile is actually going to do. In this case, it's simply spawn the water bolts, and they'll shoot projectiles. So if I go to my projectiles, here I've got simply sphere, mesh, and projectile movement set up pretty standardly. To make a grenade like arc for the soda can, you just go to projectile movement and you give the Z value in the velocity a little value, and it will cause it to arc up a little bit. And on our character, we have a child actor component, and we've set it up to use the child actor class of at start weapon soda can. I can change that to squirt gun, for example. So that's the default gun in the game anyway. So we'll keep that as squirt gun, and it uses that as reference to access all of its bits and bobs. I need to tidy this up a little bit, but we'll do that later on. And that essentially is it. That's all we've been working on. So hopefully it makes sense. I found something interesting in what's gone on here. Thanks, Jossie C, for following me on Twitch. Right. So other weapons. What other weapons are there that are unique? There are some other ones like a lawnmower thing. I think we'll save that one for when we can actually see it. Let's actually do ammo pickups. Let's do that. Kim again with weapon is type actor. Yes, a weapon is simply just a type of actor. Nothing special. But then the children actors are of type of weapon parent. So let's do some pickups. And we're going weapons here, and we go new folder, ammo, and in here we're going to create an ammo parent class. It's good practice to, if you think you're going to have multiple, like something belonging in a category, is you make a parent of that category. Because then if you want to do anything with that, it makes it a lot easier rather than going back through and reparenting all the different classes. So start off with a parent if you're going to have a category of something. So I have different types of ammo, therefore I'm going to need something similar, which is going to be ammo parent. So from there I can create child actors, and I'll go ammo soda. I think the squirt gun's infinite ammo, if I remember rightly from the game. I might have to have a look at that. Okay, so ammo parent. When ammo parent here, we're going to have a variable, and we're going to go value, and that'll be the amount of ammo it will add. So go integer, compile, and give that a default value of 10. Okay, so on ammo parent, what we're going to do is on actor begin overlap. This one here, we're going to check if it's the player actor. So we can do what can we do? We can do equals, and we can do a get player character. Actually, no, because we want to get a cast because we need access to the player. So we'll cast to the top down character because we want access to the character's value. So we've got that value there. Let's straighten up because that bothers me. My OCD. So as top down character, we can get the ammo inventory. No, we'll just could we use the set ammo inventory as well? Let's have a look. I'm just seeing if we can use this set ammo function we made to do this as well. So ammo. No, we'll make a function for this. So we go new function, pick up ammo, and input, and input is ammo amount. Oh, lots of capitals there. What's going on there? And make that an integer. Compile that. Okay, so on pick up ammo, when we plug in an ammo value into that, we want to go into ammo inventory, get, find the, we need also a class of what ammo this is going to be as well, so we need another input for that. So weapon class, and that'd be a parent type. Oh, that'd be a class reference. Okay, a class reference here, so we're going to find the corresponding class reference there, and that will spit out the ammo that we currently have. We then want to add that to the ammo we've got in our pickup ammo, and from there we need to then set that back to our inventory. So I'm just going to drag ammo inventory out again, go add that value like so, there, and the weapon class to the add. So it'll overwrite and update a new ammo value. Okay, so when we pick that up, we want to update the UI. So we've got all this stuff going on here, so I can just copy all this. I could probably turn it into a function because I'm duplicating it quite a lot. So let's do that. Let's right click and collapse the function. And we call this one update weapon UI. Makes it a bit neater. I can get rid of this then and plug that in. So okay. So I'm gonna pick up ammo here. I can just drag out update weapon UI. And that'll do, I think. That's all you gotta do. So then we on the back on our ammo parent as top down character, we can then call it pickup ammo. And we want to determine what class this ammo is of. So we're going to add a new variable and we'll call it a weapon class. And it's going to be of weapon parent class reference. And we're going to make this compile. And by default, we'll make it a soda can. Like so. Okay, so pick up ammo here will be weapon class variable and the value there as well. So when I make more ammo, in my ammo soda, this, even though it looks blank, has all the same code as the ammo parent. So if I was to put this into the world, let's give it something to actually collide with first of all. So give it a static mesh, make it a cone, why not, and give it a box collision. There we are, and close that. So if I put ammo soda now in the world like so. Oh, I also want to make it on ammo parent destroy actor at the end of that. Destroy actor. There we go. Play. So if I switch to my soda pack, walk over this. Didn't work. Oh, on my backside. Let's just check my class default. So correct here, weapon soda can, yep. 10, yep. So I'm calling pick up ammo. Pick up ammo, it's been called. Finding, adding, updating UI. Let's just print string and see if it's a UI problem or this problem. Oh, it's done. So it doesn't update when I've got it equipped currently. So why is that the case? Let's have a look. Weapon UI, current weapon. Ah, it's because my current weapon is storing the ammo value and I'm using that rather than inventory. Okay, so if I go into my current weapon, let's see what I've got currently so I can reuse anything. So ammo inventory. No. Get ammo. We can use this get ammo because this is getting the inventory and we're setting the ammo to it. So yeah, we'll do this. We'll do get ammo. So after pick up ammo here, that same function. Let's just do it in here. Delete that. Delete that. We can use the get ammo and plug that in. There we go. So now it should update it if it's equipped as well. So if I go to 10, did it go to 20 when it shouldn't have done? Down to 5. 20. Interesting. Why has that got to 20? Oh, it's because it's going by. Oh, yeah, annoying. Okay. Oh, that's annoying. We need to first of all then set the ammo before we pick up the ammo. So up here, set ammo. I think that'll do it. Let's have a look. Eight, 18. Yeah. And there you go, it works. Sweet. So we've got the basic weapon system working. So now it's just a matter of adding the other weapons to it. So there's one other type of weapon which we haven't yet done, which is sort of like a melee weapon. But we'll do that another time as time is ticking on. It's getting quite late. So we're going to end it there. Does anyone have any questions you want to ask? Please leave a comment in the chat right now and I can answer them before we sign off. This video will be available in the archive soon after this on the Patreon. So if you want to watch it back, you can do anytime you like on Patreon for $1, as well as get access to like 3 months worth of videos over there. Patrons can look forward to in the next day or two the dynamic third-person camera system, as well as the conclusion to the Shooter AI series, and this week coming hopefully the start of the Shopkeeper system series. So loads of content coming for the Patreons, heading your way. I've also got a unique video coming out soon, an interview with a game developer who's released a game, talk about their experiences and trials and tribulations. So it'd be really cool to get that out to you guys soon. Just need to finish up editing that video. So that's coming to you guys hopefully soon within the next few days as well. So loads of cool content up and coming for patrons and non-patrons alike, with non-patrons getting more from the Shooter AI series, some basic videos like double jumps, jump pads and sprinting and water effects, how to do water effects, Lots of cool stuff coming very, very soon. So thanks very much for coming by this evening. So Kim, you have a question? It's not this video related, but sure, if you want to ask any question you like, you can ask any question you like before we sign off. That'd be great. I'm just going to take a swig of my drink while I wait for your question. Ryan, landscape generating tools in Unreal are not so great for creating mountains and various other bits. I use Unreal on Mac and found a tool called Landscape which does things. Okay. It costs £200. Would you recommend this tool? Probably not. for landscape, it depends. There's loads of free stuff you can use as well. It depends. It depends on if you have the money to spend. There are a few alternatives out there. You obviously have World Machine. It's the main one that game developers use. I can't remember how much that is. Let's have a look. So World Machine is purchase. Yeah, so I'd recommend getting World Machine. World Machine's a lot cheaper. It's $119, and it's really decent. But that's the indie license. If you want more professional license, a $300 one, which has some really cool stuff in it. But World Machine, I would recommend above anything else. And World Machine has got great support for Unreal as well. That's my advice. Go World Machine. Oh, it's Windows only, is it? Is it? Oh, then you might be shit out of luck. Yeah. Yeah. If you're using Mac, then you probably have to use something else. Oh yeah, just in requirements. Oh yeah, you might have to use that one. But there are free alternatives out there. Check that out. LaserCat, I will try it. I can't try it right now as I don't have the inventory system on me on this system. I have to download it and try it another time. I don't know what would be causing it, but I'll have to have a look. It should package just fine. It doesn't do anything crazy. I'll have a look for you and hopefully have some information. Okay, so that about does it. If you have any suggestions for other videos you want to see or other live streams, by me chuck them in the comments and chat, and I'll check them out in due time. Next week's live stream will be happening, and that is a case study where I'll be playing a game live on the live stream and talking about its game developer secrets and tricks and things they use to make the game. I haven't yet decided on the game, so if you have a suggestion what kind of game you want to see me play and if I've got access to it, I'm more than happy to play it and talk through some of the possibilities that game developers might have used while doing it. But that'll be happening next week, so join us next week for that live stream. If you've joined us tonight, thank you very much for watching us live. So yeah, I'm excited to keep going with this, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone, and thanks again for popping by. Bye bye.